So, I feel like I will always be mad, and I always wondered like, what will it take for me to kind of get out of the frustration that I am now. Um, I probably say the thing that like frustrates me most is constantly worrying about not having enough money. Those the what ifs, and I hate worrying about that. I hate worrying about financial shit. I feel like, I'm doing financially well, but it's always that fear that I have of losing it all. I probably say that's like my number one fear. I probably say my second fear is not living up to my family, especially my dad. That's kind of like my biggest fear. And like, I always try to model myself, to his standards, specifications. We're not always alike and we don't always agree on the same thing, but, I do look up to him because he has reached that ideal black manhood that I like. He has a good, well-paying job. He can settle down. He can kick back, and he can give me, his legacy, and I can do the same thing. Um, I think something like sometimes I do worry about like when I finally have his legacy and carry it on. I do sometimes worry about not knowing what to do with it, or like too many responsibilities all at once. You know, my life so far is just pretty simple, just kind of a day by day job. Living pretty, normal, nothing really major. But I feel like I wouldn't know what to do when I'm in his shoes. I sometimes wonder, can I handle it? Can I handle the stress, or like more stress? Can I handle, uh, can I handle, his life, his lifestyle? Probably like the one thing that does kind of get to me is that I live good and well, and then you have other family members who are kind of like let me have a piece of that, and I have no problem, allowing my mom to get a piece of it, but my dad has offered her a house, a good house in a nice area in a nice city, and she didn't want to take it. She complained about this, and the third. The house was practically almost paid for anyways back then. But then again, it's like once I have it, you know, what was the difference between now and back then? What, you just mad because you didn't want to feel like my dad owed you something or he was giving you a gift? You know, that's kind of like the thing I worry about is just family members coming up all of a sudden, acting like they owe you something. And like, I appreciate my mother and all, but you know, I don't want people. It's a pet peeve when I'm progressing and then when I'm at a good mark and I'm at the finish line, all of a sudden I came from zero supporters to 100. I just don't like all that last minute support. That's a lot. That's the thing I've been kind of. I won't say I've been getting it lately, but it's just something that I don't like. I don't like having people support me who weren't even there when I was making drafts and I was throwing away the paper and I was, brainstorming ideas. And that's why don't mean to drive off into another topic, but that's kind of why, I have trouble, trusting women and stuff like that because, you know, I don't have a lot of female friends that I had like long ass connections. Like, connections for like we've been cool or we've been knowing each other for 10 years. I don't have those type of females. I just have a lot of on and off female friends. We may have known each other for a long time, but we never really connected or bond. And that's what kind of weakens me a bit because I don't know if I feel like women can get on my program for anything, or at least trust me or have confidence in what I'm doing. Yeah, they'll probably support me in the back, but they will never. They're not the ones who are like taking the initiative of what can I do to help you? What can I do for this? If you ever need me for anything, I'm right there. Like I never had that, you know. But the third thing, that kind of worries me is about not having children or a wife. It doesn't bother me at all too much, but obviously, sometimes I do kind of worry about like, I do want to have another legacy and pass it down. But, sometimes I do feel like you're not going to find the right one. And when you do find a decent chick, you know, she's going to turn on you. She's going to, try to find every way to break up the relationship so she can get child support. And she's going to think that she's getting over you and shit. And, that's shit that I kind of worry about. I don't want to That's like the only thing that I don't want to copy from my dad is, being in that kind of trap of child support and stressing it and going to court and trying to prove that you're paying the right amount despite what, the state is saying. I don't want to be in those situations. I'm most likely I won't, but, I just think about it. These are, I don't think these are like major fears I don't really have to worry about too often, but, it's something I kind of think about a lot. Maybe I'm spoiled and maybe, I'm not, I already know I'm not like the average black dude. Pretty sure there are black men out there who are worrying about their lives and not getting killed or trying to, graduate from high school and other shit, starvation, stuff like that, figuring out where they're going to stay and shit like that. Maybe I'm too spoiled, because I can't relate, but maybe.